This game recap is brought to you by Manscaped's Foot Duster Foot Deodorant. Say goodbye to stinky foot funk with this essential deodorant spray. Head over to manscaped.com and use the promo code SACCITY for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. The Foot Duster Foot Deodorant by Manscaped. The best protection any place below the waist.
The Tennessee Titans took down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 13-3 in this preseason Week 2 matchup. AJ, what were your takeaways from this game?
It may seem less important, but I'm going to come from the guy who's been living in Tampa. And if you remember a season ago at the draft, I thought that Kyle Trask was going to be a very good pickup for these Tampa Bay Bucs. And I get it. It's preseason. I get it's young, but they're giving him a lot of run in these last two games, and he hasn't really lived up to any type of development you would really think about. It seems like every turnover that he's had, the fumble and the interception last week, the interception this week too in the preseason, they are fluke turnovers. It's not his fault. And, I mean, how long is the rope for a guy that you just developed a second-round pick in? We get it. Tom Brady's the now, but we're also watching and hearing about how all these guards and stuff are going down, and God forbid, you know, the guy in that unathletic picture back there doesn't make it through the season, and that's who you're going in with, and that's what your future is. So I kind of watched him a little bit more than I thought I would, just to kind of see what the development was looking like, and I wasn't very impressed. 105 yards, 11 for 24, and an interception. So there's some things that need to be figured out, and they may be back to the drawing board in the next coming drafts for a quarterback.
Yeah. I will say he had a good week last week, a decent week last week against Miami Dolphins. He went 25 for 33 with 258, a touchdown, and an interception.
Yeah,
which is like that's a
lot of throwing though. So
yeah, it is, and but you are right. You are right there, really giving him the chance to show like what they have. Like, show me what you have. But like what Aaron said, what we've said before, and like Aaron, you specifically said this, I think, on one of our last shows. How hard is it to be able to judge what Kyle Trask can actually do with the talent that he is playing with?
It is.
I mean, tough. But that's – oh, sorry. I thought you were just pointing out to what he was saying for me to move on to, but he can absolutely chime in.
No, I was just going to say it is tough. It's hard, but that's the circumstances that a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback finds themselves in when you're playing in preseason. Like, you have to get those reps, and you have to show. I often attribute it to this: the results don't always matter. The interceptions don't matter. The yards don't matter. You're almost being scouted again. Like when you're in high school and you're being scouted, and I'll use baseball for example. And maybe you go 0 for 12, but you hit 3 line drives in the gap. Defenders make a play. You hit 4 hard hit ground balls. Great fielders make a play. You hit 2 to the fence or just fly balls or short of a home run. The scout doesn't look at your stats and say, oh, he was 0 for 16 in this series. We're not going to offer him a scholarship. They say, man, that dude barreled baseballs every time he hit it. That dude was fast around the bases, even though he was out. Like, so they're looking at what he looks like at the position. And I think that's really what they're trying to evaluate is, does he fit their future? Because we know Tom Brady can retire at any moment. And I think that's really what Kyle Trask is trying to prove, is that I'm a guy that, yeah, you give me Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Russell Gage, and I can go out there and throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, and a pick or something. So I think that's what they're trying to gauge. I don't think it's necessarily about the results with guys like that.
On the Titans side of the ball, they have their own young quarterback, Malik Willis, that continues to show bits and pieces of why the Tennessee Titans drafted him and why this player was a potential top 10 pick, but then ended up falling. We're still seeing signs, and he shows it every week, even though it's preseason. Aaron, what were your thoughts on Malik Willis in this game?
Put the solo cam up.
Okay, hold on. Of course you do this. Hold on. Hold on here. Go ahead.
Well, man, what happened to my producer, man? He used to be on it. Tennessee Titans fans, I'm going to tell you right now, Ryan Tannehill should not start 2022. It should be Malik Willis. I'm saying that right now. From game 1, not game 6, not when you guys are 9-7 or whenever out of the playoff. Game 1, Malik Willis should be the starter. And this is not because of what he's done in preseason against backups. It's not because of that. It's because when he's on the football field, you see that he's more talented than Ryan Tannehill. You see the athletic ability of a guy to be able to not only escape, but when he escapes, make throws and be accurate with those throws. And yes, are there things he needs to work on? Footwork, timing, seeing real NFL defenses? Absolutely. But guess what? Ryan Tannehill's been in the league damn near 10 years, and he still needs to work on those things. You have a very short window in the NFL to win with a young quarterback that's on a rookie deal. If you waste that first year, again, some teams need to do it, you better be contending for championships. And I'm sorry, Titans fans, as much as you think you are contending for championships, you are not with Ryan Tannehill. So in that instance, you move on. You move on to the next guy. They're very similar with what the 49ers are doing in Trey Lance. Move on. See what you got in Malik Willis. Let him learn in the fire so that he can grow for years 2, 3, and 4. And then you might get a Super Bowl championship opportunity before you have to pay that man. Malik Willis should start week 1 for the Titans.
You know, it's really crazy because I was going to ask if anyone here thought Malik Willis could take Ryan Tannehill's job. Because I actually believe that he has the fervor of one of the few quarterbacks at this age that, let's say something was to go wrong and you pull him, I don't think it hurts him that much. I think it's a step back in the wrong direction. You don't want to do that, obviously. It's not good. But I don't see him as somebody where that like tears his mentality down. I think that's something that would make him like go at it even harder. But I'm with you. Like I think I don't think he would either, but I'm saying
I think you leave him in there, and if he struggles, he struggles.
Right.
And I'm not saying like give up on the season. You have to be realistic. And something. What the hell is Ryan Tannehill giving you? Like, he's good. Like he's just good enough to be on the field. You know what I mean? Like, he's not special. And again, this is one of those moments where we change facts, and it changes my opinion. I did not believe Malik Willis could come in day 1 and start. But Malik Willis can come in day 1 and start with Tennessee with an excellent run game in Derrick Henry, with a very, very good defense that can protect the fact that he doesn't have to be on the field all the time, or if he gives up 3 and out, then the defense can make a play. This is all to me about trusting your draft process and saying, man, we might have gotten a steal in round 3. Let's let him go out and earn his keep. Like, I don't know. I know it's not going to happen. You're paying Tannehill too much. NFL teams don't like to do this. And I know he's not starting week 1. And if he doesn't start week 1, he's not going to start because Tennessee will be just good enough to win some games, to keep Ryan Tannehill in there. And you would have wasted a growing year for Malik Willis. And now he'll have to do everything I'm saying he would have learned this year. Now it'll be year 2. And they won't win again. And then their defense gets older. And then Derrick Henry's now out of the league damn near because he's almost 30. Like, it's now. Like, you start him now, so next year you're contending year 2. I don't get it. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it.
Before this show, I was similar to AJ. I was like trying to think, like, is Malik Willis that dude? Like, is he going, like, I think he should be the guy over Ryan Tannehill. Like, plain and simple, similar to the way you said, like, I think he should be the guy over Ryan Tannehill. His athleticism, and I don't mean to say this like in terms of rushing ability, he's as good, or like compare the two, like Lamar Jackson. Malik Willis is an athleticism to escape the pocket and find a play, whether it's with his arm or rushing. I'm not saying in the open space he's like Lamar, but his ability to find that way to make a play.
Well, it's the NFL today. It's the NFL. It's the Trey Lance. It's the Jalen Hurts. It's the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Dak Prescotts. Like, all those guys now can escape the pocket and throw and run. And you don't have to be a running quarterback to do those things. You just have to be able to move efficiently enough to create opportunities. And you're right. Malik Willis has that. And not only does he have that, but he has every other tool. He has the arm strength. You know what I mean? He has the ability to learn offenses. It's just about being raw and working on mechanical footwork stuff and not throwing into coverages. And that's every quarterback goes through that. Josh Allen went through it. And look at him now. Like, and they didn't waste any time with Josh. They said, get out there and make your mistakes. And guess what? In year 3 and 4, we're going to be a badass team that's going to be fighting for Super Bowls. And that's exactly where they're at. So it should happen. It won't, but it should.
You want to go into your top play?
Yeah, that's it. It's not even special. Like, it's just this. It's just being able to escape and then find a receiver and throw it on the money with defenders all around and get a first down. And it seems so simple. It's the throw we see in the NFL happen all the time, but we see it from veteran quarterbacks quarterbacks that are good. And we see it there with Malik Willis. His athleticism and the production that he's putting out, even in preseason, it's right there. I mean, another good game. He didn't complete a lot of passes. It was only 7 of 17, got sacked a few times. I expect that. But he showed some rushing ability. He showed his playmaking ability, and he went down the field and he scored a touchdown. And they won the game. And I know it's a preseason game, but they won the game. So Malik Willis is kind of growing on me as a player that I think I thought wasn't ready for the NFL and needed to sit a year. I think that he could come in, play day one, and struggle. He will struggle. I want to make that clear. He will struggle, but it's going to be so much better for him in the Titans year 2 that I think you have to make that move now.
Yeah. Next up for the Tennessee Titans, they wrap up their preseason hosting the Arizona Cardinals on Saturday, where the Bucs will also play on Saturday against the Indianapolis Colts.